Okay. Now, when you are thinking about the food fair, you have an idea. Where should you go to give me this idea? Where do you go first? You're at your computer. Where do you give ideas? Where do you learn about the food fair? You can just raise your hand or you can shout it out. Where is the information about the food fair? Okay, time. 2. Okay. So it's in the blog. So you go to my blog first. You're here. Now what? You're at my blog. Now where do you go? Where do your eyes go? Okay, first, you have my blog here. You see this on your screen. Where do you go? What do you look at? What are you looking at? Over here. You're at my blog. So what? Now what? What's the next step? All you have to do is open your mouth. I'm sure you can do it. You're at this screen. You see this. So what's the next step? Food fair. What are you thinking about? 2. Again. Excuse me? Okay, sure. But wait. How do you add a comment? Where do you add a comment? Let's talk about that first. You just see this on your screen. Now what? You see this on your screen. Where do you go? What do you do? I know you're trying to add a comment. That's your goal. But we need a few more steps before we actually add a comment, right? Pretend this is last week, all right? Where are you going on this blog? Where should you go? Should you go here? Does this post provide you with the information you need? Who says no? This post will not tell you about the food fair. Okay, so now what? This post doesn't tell you about the food fair. Where do you need to go? All you have to do is raise your hand, or you can shout it out. This post, what you see on the screen over here might not help you. This might help you, right? So what do you need to do? All you have to do is just open your mouth or raise your hands. You're at this screen. What do you do? What's the next step? Going step by step. Click on which link? So you see over here recent posts, right? This is like the table of contents on the blog. So which one do you click on? The one about the food fair. So you click on the one on the food fair, or you can scroll down to the food fair. You have your choice. So now we're at the food fair blog. Here we are. This is where the information is. So you went to my blog. You went to this entry over here. This is the food fair entry. What should you do now? This is your first time looking at this thing. What should you do? What's the next step? You're at the entry. Now what do you need to do? Martin?
Read.
Of course. Read some of it? Just read some? Read it all. So you read all of this. Let's pretend it's last week, okay? Let's pretend it's last Tuesday, all right? So now last Tuesday. So you read this, milestone 1, the first deadline. I'll make it bigger just for you to see. Even bigger. So, please tell me, so you're reading everything, please tell me what you will be making for our food fair by adding a comment to this post. This post, right? This one. This one. This post. I will give you until the end of this week. That is last Friday, remember? To add a comment to tell me what you will be making. If you are not on my list by the end of this week, you will not be able to make anything. Alright? So, again, right now it's Tuesday. The deadline for this was when? When was the deadline? When did you have to tell me this information? Just two. Good. All right. So last Friday, you were supposed to tell me this. You were supposed to add a comment. Where? Where were you supposed to add a comment? To the computer lesson post? Which post? The entry about the food fair. Here is where you're supposed to enter your post by Friday. Alright? So, you should have, now I'm going to make this smaller now. Actually, no. I'll just show you here. So you were supposed to click on this button, right? Comments. You click on this button over here. Comments. And then you add your comments. Alright? So this should have been done last week. It should have been done last week. Now, obviously, we decided in this class, we decided yesterday in our discussion, that those of you who gave added comments on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you were still able to play, right? So you ignored my milestone, you ignored my deadline. You said, forget about your deadline, Mr. Wu. We'll tell you on the weekend what we want to do. And we decided as a class to say, Mr. Wu, you'll just have to accept us. All right? Even though we did not perhaps follow these instructions, these steps, you still need to listen to us, Mr. Wu. All right? So now, yesterday, I gave you another deadline. Again, you should have gone to the blog, should have gone to this post, you should have read the post, and then you should have read this. Here, I'll even highlight it in blue. For those who have successfully registered for the food fair, those of you who told me, right, please go to the class Wiki. Here we are. And enter your recipes. Now, we used a wiki on the during the first computer lesson. Okay? During the first computer lesson. Now, you see this. How do you go to the wiki? This is a blog. This is a blog. This webpage is a blog. How do you go to the wiki? What do you need to do? Look carefully. How do you go to the wiki? You can raise your hand. Look at this information here. There's something special about the words here. How do you go to the wiki? 2. Good. There's a reason why this is underlined, right? When you look at web pages, when something's underlined, that means it's a link to something. Okay, so you have to go to the class wiki. All right, you have to enter your recipe, the ingredients, the instructions. Make sure you save your work.